Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vivianoseni. As always on this channel, I talk about everything nursing lifestyle. Today we're going to be doing a step-by-step demonstration of online registration with the NMC using the new process. Okay, so as you can see, going to the old portal, you have this message that pops up saying we are changing our registration and we've sent messages to those who need to be sent messages. So I'm just going to start straight off with the new way. So you have to go to the nmc.org and click on the registration button. And when you get to the registration button, joining the register as a nurse or a midwife and trained outside of the EU. And application started after 7th of October. And here you see these guidelines telling you to choose this if you have started before, after, and how to join the register. You are advised to read the guideline so you can be directed on step by step. And here you check if you're ready to register, how much is going to cost, which is about 1,170 depending on how many receipts you have in your OSCE examinations or your CBT examinations. So it's all an individual basis. And so this process is now individualized depending on your situation. There is a pre-application checklist for every individual. So what applies to me may not apply to you, but there is still one law that applies to all of us. We are all applying to the NMC. Okay, and so your application is to be assessed within 14 days when you submit all your eligibility qualification. And once they see you're eligible to qualify, they'll consider you for registration when you have submitted your CBT and your OSCE examinations. So you need a copy of your passport, and if your name is different on the passport, you have all that you need to do written out there for you. You choose what you can do. Okay, you will need to provide a form of identification, upload your certificate, inform your institution and your registration body of your registration, and they do ask you if you have been registered in your home country or in the country where you have done your nursing degree. You can call the NMC to find out which one in particular they may require of you if your country of origin is different from the place of study. Okay, so if your names are different in your original certificate or your certificate is not in English, you have the options of all you need to do to ensure you have no problems in your application. Or if your name is different, you have all the options to prove that you are the same person who is doing this application. Or if your regulatory body has no longer give certificates, you have what you need to do. And then you go on and see what you are expected to do next. You're expected also to fill in your application, pay your evaluation fee, and await the decision of the NMC. And you can see here that your information has to be verified by the NMC. They may require more information from you, from your referees. My only advice is that you should do exactly what you've been asked to do for them to verify these informations. And they will see if you meet the eligibility criteria to see that you are competent and have the same knowledge and skill as a new registrant in nursing in the UK. So once they can confirm that you meet the eligibility criteria, this is your first part of your application. They confirm that you're eligible to be registered and they give you the approval to go on with your testing for your CBT or your OSCE. Like I said earlier, in this new registration process, it is all individualized. You'll be asked to get a checklist of all the things you need to do by putting in your individual situation. Now you go ahead and click on get a checklist and answer a couple of questions as it relates to you, as you can see me doing here. If you've changed your name, your passport information, your qualification in your home country, and if it allows you to practice as a nurse, if you have your original qualification certificate, registration certificate, and if you've practiced for up to 3 years, if you have any criminal charges against you or any character to question. Now you just answer the questions as they're personalized to you, because it's going to give you a checklist that is personalized and individualized to you. So this stage is very crucial, such that you don't have to ask anybody what you need to do, because the system has generated a personal checklist for you that is valid based on the answers that you have given at that point in time. If your situation does change in the near future, do well to go back and put in this checklist, answer these questions, and get a new checklist for yourself. The system will just go on to affirm that you say you have a proof of identity and that you're eligible with your qualification, and that your documents can be verified by your regulatory body, and that you have practiced in the UK or in your home country for 3 years. And if you're a new registrant, you just say you've not been registered, but the NMC will have to confirm from your qualification awarding institution that with that qualification of yours, you are able to register as a nurse in your home country. And if that is the case, the NMC is happy to have you in their register. You'll be also required to do a health declaration and say that you're able to do this job and you're fit to do this job, and you need to get a character reference, which is a police clearance certificate from any country you've lived in the last 12 months. And if you live in the UK in the last 3 months, you'll need a DBS certificate from the UK police, which you can apply for online. Also, your test of English language has to be correct with your correct test reference number in the appropriate scores. And also here you have to prepare for your exam, and it's telling you it's going to be with the Pearson view. You are expected to contact your referees as soon as possible to expedite your application. Okay, so let's go on to the actual registration proper. So after clicking the begin your application button, you have to confirm you want to register as a nurse, an adult nurse, or whichever part of the register you want to register as. Click all the yes and select your country of residence or your country of origin and your place of study from the drop box below, as you can see I'm doing here, and you press continue. I discovered that the countries have been separated from according to Europe and overseas countries anyway. Okay, you just have to click that you understand that you are applying to the NMC and you're requested to sign up an account to the NMC Online. The NMC Online is just an account in which the NMC is using to be able to monitor all applications. Even as a paying nurse, you are requested to open an NMC Online account for you to be able to be reminded of your revalidation and your time to be in the register. So from here, you're going to register with the NMC with your email address, which you have to click and accept all these conditions and click next. And then it's going to tell you to authenticate your application details and your email address. And on the email you receive, it tells you thank you for registering with the NMC and opening the NMC Online account. And then you'll be asked to authenticate your email address. You authenticate your email address and the link is going to be sent to you in the email address to continue with your application. When you click on that email address, you have authenticated your email address, and then you can proceed with your application, filling in the forms as follows. I'm just going to take you all to the NMC Online so you can see what it looks like. As a registered nurse in the UK, you have an NMC Online application, so they're just streamlining everything so you don't have to apply twice for an NMC Online account. So you see, so you're asked to click on this. You're accepting the terms and conditions. You fill in all the details: your name, age, sex, title, email address. You register for an account, and then the NMC sends you an email to authenticate your email address. I already have an NMC account, so I'm not going to go ahead to do this. I'm just going to run you through what you're expected to do. So when you sign up to register with the NMC sends you a link directly to your email address, telling you to authenticate your email and thanking you for applying to register with the NMC. So when you authenticate your email address, there is a link thanking you for authenticating your email address and a link that directs you back to the NMC account. Right? So you have to follow that link back to the NMC account and continue your application. Like I said, NMC Online is used just to do those things that you've seen: update your details, renew your registration, view your registration status, and all that. After authenticating your email, you are expected to set up security questions, answer those questions, and keep the questions at heart for yourself, because you're going to be needing them to log in subsequently, or if you lose your password. Continue to your account, and here you find LGBTI registration criteria. You click apply now and answer those questions on equality and diversity, disability details, your ethnic group, national identity, your passport details, your qualification name, date awarded, educational institution address, postcode, and contact details. Very important. You go on to give them your registration details in your home country or country of training if you've been registered, yes. And then you go ahead to give them the certificate of your regulatory bodies, the details, and then you have a summary of details of everything that you have put into the NMC for registration. And you go ahead to declare that all the details you're giving are right to the best of your knowledge, and you go ahead to give the NMC the right to share your data on all platforms. Okay, then it tells you your application is ready to submit. However, you have to pay the unrefundable application fee. And once you've made this payment, you receive an email acknowledging your payment and thanking you for making the payment, and you receive a payment reference which you should keep very well. And then you proceed to submit your application now that you have made your payment. Once your application has been submitted, you await the decision of the NMC, and the outcome could be that you're eligible to apply, or that you need to do the OSCE and CBT, or that your registration has been approved and you receive your PIN. And you do know that you're expected to pass your CBT and your OSCE before you are PINed. So the NMC has advised that you should contact your referees before you begin your application, just to save time and to ensure that your application is expedited. I will add you contact your regulatory bodies and your institution, especially if you're from Nigeria, where things can be a little bit slow. For professional indemnity arrangement, usually the NHS provides this, or your care home can provide this for you. You just need a document to prove this, or a statement to prove this from your employer, usually in the UK. I would also like to reiterate that the NMC could want to verify your informations, and you'll be contacted about this. So if your information is being verified, just do well to give the information that is requested of you by the NMC. What you can also do is to ensure that every information that your referees are inputting in their reference, or that your school is inputting, is the same thing, so they do not have conflicting informations and do not delay your application unnecessarily, especially as it regards dates of time, start date and end dates, beginning of education and end of education, and dates awarded the certificates from your school. These information are very vital. NMC does not joke with date and time. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Do like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.